Greetings and salutations from sunny Philadelphia. Just wanted to show you my back garden real quick. I just did this walkway in the spring, by the way. It's looking pretty good. But got this big sunflower right here, and it looks like they always face a certain direction. I think it's east. I think they face east when they first come out, and then after a while they just go every which way. But I just learned that fact, and this still has a lot left on it to grow. And we got this little guy over here that looks like it's going to be a monster in the middle of it. It's pretty short. Then this year we put the butterfly bushes in, and they're doing pretty good, coming in pretty nicely. Hopefully they'll really blow up next year. I'll trim them. I got to look and see when to trim them, because believe it or not, almost every plant is different as far as when you want to prune them. And then I have this red maple here that's going to get planted, and that's going to get planted at the park next year at Pennypack. So looking forward to doing that. I might even do it this fall, but I'll probably wait until early spring. But the reason I wanted to make this video is because of these. And these may look like ordinary flowers when you first look at them. Let's see if I can zoom in on these suckers. They may look pretty ordinary, but I want you to listen to this. Might be hard to hear. Might be hard to hear with the air conditioning going on. And let me just give you an idea real quick before I do that. These things put off with different colors. You get some really bright whites. You get some whites with some yellows in the middle of them. You get some pinks and with the yellow in the middle, and then the white all the way in the middle. But here, just listen to this. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but these are called straw flowers, and they're one of the coolest flowers out there, really, as far as I'm concerned. So basically these things are already dry, so you still want to hang them so you can get the stem dry if you want to keep the stem. But if you just wanted to cut off the heads and do something with them, you could do that. They're completely dry. And what you do, you just basically give a nice layer of compost on top of your soil that you have in your garden, and just take these straw flower seeds, which what happens when they go to seed is, instead of this being yellow in the middle with the pollen, you're going to go to this color right here. And then I don't know if you can see right in the middle there, but that's a seed right in the middle. That thing that looks like a tiny stick right in the middle, that's a seed right there. And this whole thing, you can see another one right at my tip of my finger there. And this whole thing will go to seed, and you can save these seeds, and you'll know when they're ready, because they'll be a lot easier to get off than like I'll be able to rub this and they'll just start shooting out. You can see some of them are starting to come out already, like the ones right on the tip right there of my finger. I just actually brushed it off. But you can save these seeds, and like I said, early spring, sprinkle a little compost, like a nice 1/4-inch layer of compost down. And then you want to just sow these really thickly. And once you sow them really thickly, just take your hand and go over the soil like this, real lightly, just so they don't blow away if it gets windy. And that's basically it. And these things are actually pretty cool, because they actually close up when it's raining out, and then they open back up when it's not raining. And this is what they look like when they're just, here, let me take you through. So they start out like this, basically. Then they open up a little more like this. Then they open up like this. And then, boom. Then there's your other part of the life cycle. And then eventually, after a while, they turn like this. And that's when you know pretty soon you're going to have a bunch of seeds. And I'm planning on collecting as many of these seeds as I can, because I was really impressed. And this is how thick they took. And I actually transplanted some of these into this area right here. Here, let me zoom out. This area right here was really, it didn't have anything in it. So I had to transplant a few. But look, still grow nice and thick. So you can tell where I transplanted because they're lagging a little behind the ones that took off on their own. As you can see, some of these suckers have really good genetics, and they have more than a couple on them. And as you can see, there's different colors on the same stem, which is really cool. That one has all the same colors on the stem, but some of them have different colors on the stems, which I think is just really cool. Like this one right here is all different. But yeah, that's it, guys. I just wanted to show you that. And then I just transplanted these. Probably they were a little too big to transplant. They're probably about 3 foot tall. But these are two different species of lilac, and you could really tell because this one on the left really does not like the heat, and it droops every time the heat comes out. But this one on the right doesn't droop at all. And I just put that in this year, and I made sure I had already pre-dug the hole and dug it very deep. Put some compost in there, put some peat in there, and some different amendments. And it really helped that I already had the hole dug and ready, and I already pre-moistened the hole before I even put this in, and that was amazing. That was amazing, and that's the only thing that really saved it, because like I said, this one on the left was really, really, really sensitive to the heat and almost died on me. But they ended up living through a heat wave, and I'm hoping by next year they're going to be about 10 foot tall. I'm really hoping. This definitely stunted the growth, but as you can see, there are some new shoots on there just waiting to take hold. So very excited about that. So that's about it for now. And you know, if you don't have a big area for your garden, you can do little pots like this, you know, and just put wildflower seeds in them, and you get something like this. I don't think these are baby's breath, but they sure look something similar. And then you have some of these, which I have a bunch of them over there too. But yeah. And then later on in the season, as you can see down here, there's other stuff that comes out later in the season with this wildflower mix. So anyway, this turned into an actual video instead of a short, but just wanted to give you an idea. And this Japanese maple that I have in the middle here, which I haven't shaped up yet, I'm waiting for it to grow a few seasons. This thing I got on a Halloween a couple years back, and I brought it from my apartment that I was living in to this house and planted it. And it's got a little bit of heat stress on top, as you can see, which I'll trim off, you know, at the end of this season. But besides that, it's looking really healthy. I keep getting these vines growing on it. I'm gonna have to get that off. I gotta figure out what these vines are. I think they're like wild violet vines or something crazy, but they're growing everywhere. If you know what they are, leave a something in the comments. Let me know what they are, because I'm just not sure. You know, but I don't want anything growing up and attaching like that. So unfortunately, you know, I wish it would have picked the big sunflower to grow up. That would have been better. But anyway, it's time to go in and watch some I'm just getting around to watching the Mayans. I don't know how many of you are Sons of Anarchy fans, but I watched Sons when it first came out, and I'm just getting around to watching the Mayans, and in my opinion, it's just as good, if not better, than the Sons so far. I'm only on season 1, but anyway, guys. Oh yeah, and I made some nice little cornhole things for the kids to use, but I ended up using them more than the kids. But anyway, have a good night, guys, or whatever time of day it is when I upload this, and there'll be more videos coming. I'm going to try to do these more regularly and let you guys know what's going on. And this is just a little tiny back garden. I have a whole front garden, and you know, my other plants I have going on indoors and out. So talk to you soon. Greetings.